Good afternoon, viewers. You're welcome to the Polity here on Chieftain TV. Today we shall be looking at two interesting issues, which of course are stories that are trending. One of them is, of course, the much talked about remarks of the President of the United States on his social media handle, which has generated widespread reaction across the globe. And the other, of course, is about the People's Democratic Party, which has gotten a clear signal to go ahead to hold its convention in Ibadan. The convention is, of course, a pivotal convention for her to elect her new leaders who will be steering the party towards the 2027 general election. Now, these two topics will be handled here with me by no other persons but persons who have deep understanding of public issues and, of course, the chieftain of the People's Democratic Party. Here with me in the studio is Ruth Tene, a public affairs analyst and an experienced journalist.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. And joining us on Zoom to discuss the issue of the PDP is no other person but Mike Omeri, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party and former DG of the NOA. So if he's not on, okay, he's on. So welcome, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate your decision to join us and help us share with our viewers the importance of the major opposition party in the country and how much of it is needed to make sure we have a robust democracy. Now, we shall proceed with the PDP convention, which has gotten a clear direction. Dual court judgments from the courts of coordinate jurisdiction, one in Abuja, the other in Ibadan, where the convention is expected to hold. Now, can you help us, sir, to make a sense of this whole drama that has played out, of course, to the excitement of members of the PDP and believers in democracy that has a stronger position?
Well, thank you very much. Yes, there are two subsisting court judgments from courts of coordinate jurisdiction on the issue of the National Convention of the PDP. Now, two things are clear. You know, like I said somewhere, when a judge, or there is a public perception on the judge or justice of justices, and the masses are able to predict, or the people are able to predict the outcome of the judgments, I think such judges or judge should be worried that he has been unpredictable because there is just only one way of thinking. Now, the first case, you know the circumstances. Suspension upon suspension. 4 people went to court against the entire 14 or 17 members of the National Working Committee to seek judgment against the hosting of the convention in Port Harcourt. Now, the judge cleverly, from my understanding of having read it, the judgment, and discussed it extensively with learned people, the judge cleverly avoided making orders on PDP. He went straight to INEC. Most of the orders he made were directed at INEC. There was, by that, he was, in fact, the judgment was really tough. But he also, by not, making orders on INEC, all that he said to the PDP was, go and put your house in order. PDP now went to look for an order that would compel themselves to host that election. I mean, that convention in Ibadan. So that is why the PDP people are celebrating happy that at least there's a lead. But the most important thing here is that leaders of the party, elders of the party need to come together, because there is no need for litigation. The PDP truly has a way of solving its problems by discussions and dialogue. So they should resort to that method, that long method of the PDP. And I'm happy that the Board of Trustees of the PDP, as it were, is meeting today. I'm very sure that something to send the decision to go to Ibadan.
Okay, the PDP is excited about the judgment. Of course, it gives a clear signal for the party to go on with the convention. But we are concerned, or persons are concerned, that with two court judgments, the INEC may be confused on which to follow. Do you think that dilemma is appropriate for INEC?
Oh, in a fair society, yes. Initially, I was thinking of first in time, but the latest in time should be the guiding direction for INEC and any other person who wants to obey the principles of law. The latest in time is subsidiary order to be obeyed.
Okay, now that the course is clear, the party is hoping to have new leaders that will have the legitimacy and authenticity to be able to present the candidates for the next election. How are you certain that all of these that are happening are not forming booby traps for the, to use the word of the Akwa Ibom State governor who moved to the APC, who does not want technicalities to be the basis of one having to fall off the office of grace if eventually he wins under the PDP platform, and then that fight comes up. Do you think the PDP is free of any kind of booby trap in the face of these?
You know, we want a good country, a country that works. And
Yes.
people, leaders should respect themselves and abide not just by the laws of the country made by them for them, but to let certain things work. You see, when we resort to the use of the law courts to procure all manner of judgments, and you know, at the end of the day, it stultifies the growth of democracy, and you know, makes the politics that we play a caricature of the normal way to achieving opportunities for governance. Then we are doing it's just a common disservice to the country, to the people who are innocent out there in the villages, are looking for service, they are looking for opportunities, they want to escape hunger, they want to be like the rest of society. So what I expect is that no matter what, we should find ways of not inch towards, you see, in politics and democracy, you give people the opportunity of choice. So if you stultify the process, if you emasculate the space for people to freely choose between black and white or green and red, then you are not helping the polity, you are not helping development, you are not helping inclusion. So people should restrain themselves to just doing the right things. Because how have we fared in the manner that we have been procuring all manner of judgments? It's confusion and chaos, and we have deficits of the infrastructure we need. The trust deficit is crept into the government and its processes. The judiciary itself is being called out. Why should we allow such to happen to us? We are busy nibbling inch by inch on what makes a nation fully one by doing the wrong things and allowing space to be occupied by miscreants and thugs and so forth and so on. There is no possibility that if we continue this way, we'll be able to correct some of the challenges that we have as a nation. And these things lead to disintegration. It started like that in the 1960s, and we ended up with a civil war. We don't want war. We shouldn't continue this way. We should be tolerant. We are Nigerians. Let's be Nigerians, working to achieve greatness so that we can utilize our own resources. We can utilize the human and natural resources that we have in abundance. Now we are letting everything to fret away. The Nigeria of today is not the Nigeria of yesteryear, it's not the Nigeria of even the 1979s and 1980s. Even during the military regime, we never had it this bad. And why should we have reached a stage where we are even making comparison with the military regime that we've had? That is totally wrong. Because democracy is the in thing where people are able to participate and air their views. Every one of them that are going to court, and they are doing whatever they are doing, as far as the democratic space is concerned, is the right thing. But you should know also that there is a time to apply the brakes. You do not do things because you have an ego to polish. You are allowing your ego and emotion to jump into the arena where national issues, national concern should be of utmost importance to all of us.
Yes, it is a time that people should know when to apply the brakes, because the concern is having a workable democracy. I recall very clearly how that immediately we got into this fifth democratic experience, there was this nonce that was common among the politicians when things of this nature were happening. That is, do not derail our nascent democracy. Is this democracy still nascent? Is it maturing? And if it is maturing, do we need to have it derailed? That is a question that all the players in the polity should understand. But I'm coming to you here in the studio, Ruth Tene. When the PDP chieftain was speaking, he did mention the importance of allowing parties to sort themselves rather than going to procure court judgment to make them do so. Now, this speaks to internal democracy. Do you think if there were internal democracies in the political parties, for instance, the PDP, which is the case in point, do you think there would have been need for these court actions, suspensions and counter suspensions?
You know, I actually laughed when you said that, because one of the things that came to mind is who is taking their democracy issues out, but the political parties themselves. They are the ones that have chosen to take their matters out. It's not any third party bringing in. We are talking of members of the PDP washing their dirty linens in public. Now, there wouldn't have been need if they could have found a way to resolve their own issues. And there is no doubting the fact that the PDP, as it stands today, needs to put its house in order. Even for the most myopic, for the most blind person, you can see the issues that are coming up in the PDP every day. And I don't see why adults put in the same house, in the same room, cannot find a way to resolve their matter so that the progress of the party is ensured. It's like some people are determined that, no, we continue fighting. When you continue fighting, who suffers is actually the party that suffers. But unfortunately now, like you said, the matter is already out. It's already in the courts. We can't start debating whose fault is it. The matter is already out. It's already out. So I find it very strange. Again, the first question you raised earlier when you were speaking to the party chieftain was the dual court judgment. I find that very, 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 very disturbing. These are some of the issues that speak or questions the truth of our democracy. Why should there be these issues? Why isn't there one voice even in the judiciary? Why should one court say one thing and another says another thing? Are we dealing with different constitutions? Are we dealing with different laws? Are we dealing with different precepts? Are we dealing with different, I don't know, what were their pros, what were their arguments, what has made one to see this reason? And I remember that the Abuja judgment particularly spoke to the House, putting itself in order. Go and resolve these issues. Now, is the Oyo court saying those issues are of no relevance? So go ahead.
Well,
I mean, this, for me, rather than giving you answers, I have more questions.
Sorry, I think you didn't hear that part when he was speaking. The chieftain did mention that the Abuja court was struggled through that court judgment because it only gave orders to INEC. It was training INEC from going to supervise the election and giving order. But for the PDP, simply said it's only advisory. It said go and sort yourself. That is, by extension, there was actually no legal matter that would have required a pronouncement in otherwise. So in trying to escape the challenge, that is what he said. So he now went that way. Yesterday we had a chieftain of the party here, the former spokesman of the Presidential Campaign Council in 2019, in the person of Haji Umar Sani. Yes, Umar Sani. Now he said that the congresses, which form the basis for what argument, have been held in about 28 states. And there are about 6 states. In those 6 states, I think 4 of them or 3 have their ESCOs already expired and the process of holding the Congress. The others were dissolved or not. So for 28 states, which of course is in compliance with the Constitution for the number that would require for the delegate to the convention, was an okay thing for the fact that they've held that before and they have been such successes. So why now was the question they were asking, which is what the chieftain is also saying. But I think that it is important that the internal democracy structure should be strongly followed, such that it becomes very, very difficult for an external party to come and mediate in their issue. And when that happens, it is very certain that the party can go on smoothly. Now back to you, sir. We want to ask, with this direction of the court judgments, do you have the confidence that it is a smooth ride for the party to the convention 16th, 15th and 16th?
Well, I am confident because, like I said, as I speak, leaders of the party are meeting, and the idea is to seek. You talked about these conflicting court judgments and how the party reacted to it by going to court to procure another judgment. The issue is that the party internal democracy within the PDP has mechanisms that guide it. And where there are disagreements, there are also processes and procedures that can be adopted to solve the problems. But when the other party rushed to court and nobody acted, it calls for concern, and that was why we made the call. I made a press conference 3 or 4 days ago and called on the BOT and all leaders to sit there and sit down, come to a round table, and I'm happy that call has been heeded. There have been various meetings since yesterday. Today is ongoing as we speak, and I also hope that one of the solutions within the PDP, where the solution mechanism within the PDP will be deployed to ensure that, in fact, there is no need for all these cases. They should go and withdraw all the cases. Let's have a smooth convention. Let's move forward. Anybody who wants to contest the election, let him go and contest the election. It's about the people. If they choose you, we work with you. If they don't choose you, you go and prepare for the next time. And then if you are resorting to consensus, lobby the people that command the process so that you will find favor in the consensus arrangement that is coming. If you lose out, it's not like any other that's going to stand in an election where votes are cast. If you lose, you try again next time. But to say it must be me, if not me, everything must crash. That is the problem. That thing that goes with the ego. It is not civil. It is not right.
No.
I don't know whether we need to school Nigerians again on how to leave our egos in our bedroom when we leave the house to meet other people. We need to build the country. unless if our intention is not to build the country but to lose the country.
Okay, now we've spoken about the importance of consensus, why people should bury their ego and they should think that the general acceptance or consensus on a particular candidate is a good direction to go. Right now, there is that horse trading within the party is going on the choice of who should emerge as a consensus candidate for the party. Why is the party electing for a consensus at this moment when it actually needs to have a grassroots base, which it has, grassroots base making input into the emergence of its leader through the delegate election? Why the consensus? Why not allowing the people to make that choice? Is the consensus the best option now? Why is it an option?
Less rancorous, less expensive
for
the aspirants, for those who are contending to these various offices.
Yeah.
And besides, is are we together?
Yes, we are together.
You know, and besides, this consensus arrangement will still be subject to confirmation at the convention. That is the purpose of the convention. If we go there, the consensus is not accepted, the people will say no. So it is not an absolute, it's not an end. It's just a means to an end. It reduces the rancor, it reduces the cost, because most of the aspirants, everything has become expensive. So why don't we find ways of reducing things that will make us look like savages? If we sit down and agree, like Tene said, is it Ruth?
Yeah.
Like she said, why can't we sit down as adults to agree on how to govern Nigeria? Even thieves, they have meetings and agree on a plan on how to steal. Then we call ourselves educated Nigerians who have gone to school, who are politicians, who are aspiring to serve this country, and we cannot agree. Then do you think we can build this country with this kind of attitude? It's terrible. Everybody is fantasizing his ego on TV every day. They go to court. They come out and say, "You cannot do this." All manner of threats, all manner of braggadocio, all manner of. It's not good. There are many of us in this country, and I think some of them still, maybe they are doing this because it appears to be it may be their last time of participating in a high level project. They are all very old people. They have destroyed. See, I don't even count myself as part of this generation or the next. At my age, at 62.
Wow.
I can't see myself. What role will I play? The people coming behind me, it's not even about them. It's about their children. So I should be talking about my grandchildren, because somebody up there has stopped me from playing my own role as it should be. And they are still squabbling over nothing. And the country has not changed. So what have they been doing for all these years that they are still struggling for position? It's not good for Nigeria. We need to move away from this.
What are they still doing at their age, seeking for political office, when of course they should be mentors to younger persons who are within the party? Of course, that would have given hope to the younger generation that in rising they have the opportunity to serve their country if they associate with the PDP. Now, here, and I will need to ask you, from what he has just said, do you think, with what he has said, it is not out of place to call for a meeting of the older members of the party to sit down possibly and see how they can, because one of the ways they can, from what he said, if they want to really de-escalate these issues, they may have to knock off certain persons who have repeatedly be the ones trying to ensure they are in charge of the party.
To be very candid, I believe there's actually still room for everyone. The wisdom of the aged is something that cannot be discarded.
Yeah.
The passion and the strength of the youth is something that we cannot ignore. So we need to find a level A level playing ground for everyone. But again, just like he said, if the elders can come together and speak and agree, but again, we are dealing with a whole body of selfish people. Who wants to step down for who? Who wants to give up his own ambitions for who?
That was the ego thing he was talking about.
Ego. Ego is a very, very terrible emotion that we all have to
contend and deal with.
It's something that deals in every aspect of our society. We find it.
Go ahead.
Sorry. So I am not. I don't know. I'm not saying no to the elders. Let them be there. Like I said, their wisdom is valuable. Their experiences are valuable. The lessons they have learned are valuable. Some people ask me, why is Atiku still hungry for power? I've had lots of these discussions, and I'm like, why shouldn't he be hungry for power? And I also believe that some of these elders are also good for the polity because they understand
the complexity of the nation.
The complexities. The youth will come and, they are bowing to these elders and, to an extent, the freedom to bring up their fresh ideas may not necessarily be there. So for me, I feel there's room for all to play. Whether the elders or the youth, there should be room for everyone to play. They are all their experiences, all their, whatever they have to offer, let them all bring it to the table. Because I know that nobody's going to give up his vision or his ambition for the next person. No.
All right, we shall be going on a break now, and then when we return, we'll continue the conversation, and then we shall be looking at a way forward for the umbrella party, which has been in power for a very long time and steered the ship of state to the level the APC took over. And then we are here where we are now, and the party is still saying our spread across the country is a very vital and strategic force that the country needs to make this democracy strong and viral. So after this break, we shall have more conversation. Discussing the PDP convention, the dual court judgment, and how will they in any way affect the outcome of the PDP convention. With us the chieftain of the party and former DG of the NOA, Mr. Mike Omeri. And here with us in the studio is Ruth Tene, a public affairs analyst, a very good social commentator looking at this topic. Now, to you, sir, we want to ask, with all of this that has come up, what lessons are there for the party with all of this?
Well, I want first I want to address the issue of space for the elders.
Okay.
They have the space, and that is why the PDP has a board of trustees made up of experienced leaders, founders, former governors, former this, former that, to guide the youth. Now, their problem is that, she said they know it all, is they are knowing too much of the complexities. Then they want to rule according to those complexities. That is getting the problem. Let us get the youth who are innocent. Let them come and display their innocence and be guided by the elders where they are going wrong. Let them use their innocence to give us something new that will set us on the path to progress, development, and growth. Not to becoming, every time they are talking about religion, they are talking about this, they are balancing rubbish that does not help or make a government. We don't need religion in our governance. We don't need religion as a criteria for leadership selection. What we need are people who have capacity to serve and are suitable for the job. So the elders who want to contest, they have eaten before, they have been eating from the same pot, now they have graduated. Instead of them to leave the pot for other people to come and they want to carry the pot and go with it. That is the problem.
They want to carry the pot and go with it. It means the content of the pot is very sweet and one that can hardly be let go. So we are seeing this. Now, let me ask you. He explained that the party already has catered for the elders in the party with the BOT structure, which of course they describe themselves as a conscience of the party. And looking at that, what's it called, that structure of the party, is it not okay for anybody who is in that party to see it as a good retirement ground from active politics and be behind the scene to guide, if service is what is actually guiding them and not eating off the content of the pot
and taking the pot away as
the DG has said.
Okay, I totally agree with him, because I mean, if you look at both sides, they both make sense. But again, I was actually wondering, are there actually innocent people in politics, whether they are young or old or whatever? So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, there are no innocent people. But I totally agree with him. If the experienced hands are there and willing
to guide.
But now this is the problem. Nobody wants to guide. Everybody wants to be in. Everybody wants to have a taste of the pot. We don't want to be at the table. So I don't know, but I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense if the elders will agree. But where they will not agree, and where, I mean, it's a democracy, so nothing stops them. There's no limit to your ambitions. Because it's a democracy, nothing stops you from wanting to aspire. And so we can't stop them from having that vision. That is what makes a democracy a democracy. But again, if the PDP board will be willing to give that guide, it will make a whole lot of sense. But if they are not, the Constitution does not stop them from vying. And because it doesn't, there's room at the table for all. So let's just find a level playing ground, like I keep saying, a level playing ground for the elders, for the youth, for the wise, for the wisdom of the elders, for the strength of the youth. Let's find a level playing ground.
All right. Before I return back to you, Sir Michael Omeri, I want to let the viewers know that the lines are open now. You can now call and make your contribution to the conversation. So the lines are on the screen, and then you can make your call. So back to you, sir. I was asking you, okay, I was asking to know, are there lessons that the party is connected? Are there lessons for the party in all of this? As an outsider, I would love to get to know from him, from Sanisa. But as an outsider, do you think the party should learn any lesson from these experiences? No, I'm speaking to you.
Oh, to
yes,
me? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. I mean, when you have your name dragged through the mud, and I know that the PDP has been dragged, and whether we understand the issues or not, they've been dragged. There must be a lesson. Why don't you want to be the star party? You've already made a name. You've already created an image. I mean, I'm from Kaduna State, and I know that my people, I'm from the southern part of Kaduna, we used to be very, very, how will I say it?
Attached,
we were PDP sympathizers. And somehow you can't take that away from me. See, tomorrow, I'm telling you, if tomorrow PDP puts in house in order, it will still have those backings that it had. It has already created a name and an image that it will not be easy to just let go like that. So despite the challenges they have right now, I believe that if the PDP puts its house in order, if the PDP decides that, okay, enough of the wrangling, it is time for us to come out in our strength, I believe they have a very, very good chance. Maybe not against Tinubu, I don't know, but they still have a very good chance to recover.
Why not against Tinubu? 2027, the president is willing to seek another option. The party is already thinking of the possibility. There's this story about the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, coming in. Of course, this conversion will help to know whether his supporters, those who are supposedly his leg soldiers in the party, if they will be at the forefront of the leadership. That will give an indication. There is also the call that an OB candidature also is one that will swell the party or bring back several others who have left. Now, with the party, I remember some time ago, before the 2023 election, Fashola was speaking, the former Minister of Works and Housing, a former governor of Lagos State. He said that election was about plus and minus, that the PDP continued to suffer a drop in her ranks, and the APC continued to enjoy swell in her ranks. Now, in that election, the PDP was still controlling about 16 states, even after the election. Now it has come down to about 8 or 5 states. Yeah. Do you think a party that has some confidence in the structure that flows from the governor, House of Assembly members, party leaders, council leaders and all that, now that that is really depleted, do you think this party can be able to field anybody with success in 2027?
You know, I feel something about the rush to APC. I just feel, you know, in recent times we've seen a whole number of people, almost everybody is rushing to APC. I feel it's an artificial and a temporal thing. Whatever they are rushing, when they rush like that, it's very easy to collapse. They can rush like that and something happens again and then they all rush out. I mean, and what I've come to see in recent times is our politicians are just sympathetic to their values. It has nothing to do with what is good for the people, what is good for them. No, they just want to assure and ensure their return, which is not a guarantee, because at the end of the day, if the elections are not rigged, at the end of the day, the people are the core determinants and not the parties. So even if everybody is in APC, and there is only one person in PDP, one person in ABGA, one person in Labour, one person in whichever, the people will simply be sympathetic to whomever they want to be sympathetic to. I don't think it has to do with the party. So for the party thing, it's a temporal thing. No, it's a temporal thing, I think. It's a temporal thing.
So, yeah. Here we're hearing clearly that a romance with the Nigerian people is what is pivotal in having a good outing in the elections ahead. And so the parties must, as a matter of urgency, begin to go to the grassroots and reconnect with the people, because the people are those who are going to determine who will be their leader or not come 2027. While everybody is rushing to Ibadan for the convention, like Secondus once said when he was chairman of the party, he said to the party leaders, he said, go to your ward and start talking to people. And I think also, even though the ruling party is in power, they also need to go to their word, because the 2023 election was indeed an eye-opener. Here was a man without structure. Here was a man running for the first time. And there was this frenzy, as it were, towards him by the new entrance into the registrar. And then the vote was geared towards that particular direction. It says a lot. And that is why when you say that the movement, the seeming rush out of the one party or gravitation towards a particular party is more artificial than real. Absolutely. And if you look at it very well, if people are doing this for their own survival, then the factor of survival are critical in their continuation. So we're still waiting for your calls to join us and make our contribution while we continue to look at the convention. Now, I asked the PDP chieftain a question earlier. I said, this court case and this court pronouncement, and of course, this between 9 and the 16th, we still have about 4 or 5 days. Now, is it not possible that the politicians for their is Jen back? Okay, I'll welcome back. Thank God the technical issues have been sorted. Now, I'm asking, sir, between now and the 16th, I think we have about 8 or 10 days more. Are you not seeing a desperation? Because you know very well that this suspension, accountant suspension, is coming from a particular quarter believed to be so aggrieved by the way, as the Minister of the FCT, by the way he was treated at the convention in Port Harcourt, which has led to all of this. Are there efforts to make him see reasons why he should stand by his party at this difficult time?
Thank you. I will take this thing. I'll try to put it in perspective, following from what Ruth said. You see, it would appear that there are no innocent politicians because we have consistently voted the wrong people who will tell you and confess. They will even come and confess on TV that they resorted to lies. Rufai said so. Fayemi said so recently. I'm calling their names. They are my friends, except Rufai, because I don't like his lies. And some other. You understand? They said they knew somebody was doing the right thing, yet they lied to Nigerians so that they would take power. Is that the kind of leader? Are these the kind of leaders we want? And because that is what they are stuck in trade, they keep doing it. If you go and discuss and tell the people, blow this grammar of how you will transform the country tomorrow, these guys will come and lie to them, give them gari and rice, and they will go and put them temporary appeasement. Use this and gratification. It's a theory. That is what they do. So we end up consistently with leaders who are liars, who are not ready, prepared to lead. And so the impression is created that all politicians are liars. In other climes, even when they lie, they are making progress. Why are our own thieves, our own politicians, not making the lie and the progress? Why are we not doing it? They are leaving their party to another party now. So if it gets bad in that party, they will move again. That means they are not ready to fix this country. Where there is a problem, stay there, fix it. If your house is leaking, you call a carpenter. If your water is not you look for a plumber. If you are dealing, that is what they should be doing, not to be jumping from one party. If those people are not prepared theirs, will you go there? That shows you they are not prepared for leadership. That is why I will continue to get the wrong end of the stick. We'll continue to wallow in our squalor and our hunger and poverty and all that you name, all of them. So long as we keep voting this kind of people into power.
I think this voters also speaks to the leadership recruitment system within the party. There is this unwritten code within the party that a sitting governor is granted the privilege of a choice of his successor. And we have seen in the past how that has really affected the party, because the quality of persons who were elected, who were chosen by this person and supported by the party, did not come out to become any kind of outstanding individuals that further sold the party to the Nigerian public. Do you think it's not an issue to be looked at?
Excuse me, sir. As so-called leaders of the party in their respective states, because they have the state boss, they do not. Nobody is giving them that privilege. They force it on the people. In addition to that, they even once the party governor says, "I'm running for Senate in my constituency," nobody runs with him again from the same party. He will stab you. He will frustrate you, unless the people hold their power of decision. You will defeat everybody. They have done it once or twice, but the ones that they did they vote the right people? They also went and voted liars and deceitful people into leadership. So this our leadership recruitment process must be taught in school. We must teach leadership in public spaces, in private spaces, in churches, in mosques. And we look, sometimes we go and see some people will come and be putting Bible up and down, or Quran up and down. We go and vote for them. They are useless people. They cannot give anything. Even the prayers, the worship they are doing is useless. Because how can you be praying and thinking of how to cheat somebody at the end of the day? And God is God of justice and fairness and equity. You go to church and sit in front of you. A reserved seat is there for you. Like the women are looking for a reserved seat now in the Senate, in the National Assembly. You have a reserved seat in church. I hope they will have reserved seat in hell.
You speak like someone who is really pained by this whole scenario in your party. I was asking this before we had a small glitch, as it were, but thank God you're back. Now, let us have the benefit, the advantage of you being an insider. Do you think there's any lesson to be learned by the party from all of these, and how, what are these lessons, if there are any?
In a political party is like a consultative assembly. And you should reach out to as many people as possible. I can discuss with anybody. I can discuss with APC, PDP, QQQ, any party. But what I want to choose, I have seen it already. It does not mean that because I've discussed with APC, I'll go and vote APC. I will not. If they are doing the wrong thing, I will know that I have the power of choice. So allow me the opportunity to see everyone. And so if you are arriving at the consensus, talk to everybody.
Okay.
Okay, you can consult widely, and that will give you the direction for your consensus. But when you become cult-like, and this is because some of the people kicking against what happened today is just because they are not in power. When they were in power, they did worse. And nobody could say anything. There is party constitution, but they bent it. All of them. Tambawal, when he was in PDP, brought the current national, NOS. Nobody argued. Wike brought secondus. Who argued? Wike and Otom brought Ayub. Who argued with them? This is something that they are used to doing. They have been doing it. They have established a culture in difference to the provisions of the Constitution. Now that it's happening to other people, they are not in power. They don't want to obey it. That is the problem. You have left the stage. Leave the stage completely. Don't leave the stage and then try to be a puppeteer. That is just the problem. And that's why I say they want to take away the pot. So people are dragging the pot with them. And you know, pots from fire has soot, dirt. You end up with dirty things. Your clothes will be dirty. And if there is remnant of hot tuwo inside, you know, tuwo from fire is very hot. So they should please allow Nigeria to grow. I'm not talking about political party. They are all these characters are in all the parties. They are in the judiciary. They are in the police. I want to tell you something. Yesterday, I was ashamed, and I'm repeating. I'm going to say it now. We wanted to use a particular hotel. It's not me. Some people wanted to use a particular hotel to hold a press conference. They told us that the hotel, you know, that the IG is APC. We will not allow this kind of thing to happen here. What a shame. You are doing business. I'm coming to pay you. You say the owner is another party. I should not come and do it. Does it make sense to you? And this IG belongs to all of us. Will I have justice? If I'm not in APC with him? This official of the hotel told us, and they denied us the use of the venue. In this, yesterday, not 10 years ago, yesterday. How can you do that? So, gentlemen, these are the issues, some of the issues with the developing our country. It's a total problem. It's not a case, it's a complete scenario. It's not just one small side issue. We need to change our attitude to the way we want to see our nation grow. Look, for the past 2.5 years, what are we doing? Politics. The country, every aspect of our life is politics. From the corn seller to granite seller, everybody is politics. What is that? Don't we have a life? Can't we have a life? Can't the politics we play give us a life? It's not giving us any life. We don't have light. We don't have this. We don't have this. Up to now. Please, I'm not bitter about my party. I'm bitter about the direction of our nation. And that is why people are calling themselves today. They are not satisfied. Nigeria is supposed to be one nation. But what do we have? They call themselves Yoruba nation, Kataf nation, Tiv nation, Alago nation. Everybody is a nation within one nation. We are supposed to be one nation. But because we are not satisfied, people are trying to create their own individual nations, and we are fighting. That's why we are fighting ourselves over the religion, over the territory, over this. People who come to power will not develop everywhere. They will go and be doing their tribe. Even their tribe, they will do roads only to their house, to their mother's house, to their father's house. That's all. If you see any new road in most of these places, they have acquired the land in that area completely. They will do road to them for their own convenience. This is the reality, my brother. And that is why we are dancing in one. We are not looking at the totality of the goals of development. We don't have a purpose for being in power. Even our democracy doesn't seem to have a purpose.
Is it because it is lacking? It is because the parties are lacking in ideology that define their own structure from the other, so that people can decide which of the package they will elect to for their political advancement as they seek the contribution to national development.
They may not have ideology, but they have philosophies and principles that should guide them. They establish those principles. Fairness.
Principles of justice, fairness, honesty.
Fairness, peace, inclusivity, all of that. Why can't they live by those? Just live by those. We will not do it. We are not fair. We don't want justice. We don't want everything. We create problem. Leaders are hatching trouble. Leaders are carrying thugs to party office with police escorting them. Is that what we need? We should please. We are creating a platform for anarchy by ourselves. One day when all of this is gone, then the question will be asked, who did this to us? And we have been asking ourselves even now. Nobody did it to us. We have the answer. We did it to ourselves.
All right, thank you very much, sir. The quest for a very beautiful society where we can all grow, develop, and have the hopes and ambition of our children actualized is one that we all desire. And whether it is PDP or APC or NDP or LP, the issue should be fairness, justice, equity, and then opportunity for all. But here we are with this painful reality. And from here in the studio, we're talking about the dual court judgments and how it will shape the outcome of the PDP convention. And the person who joined us is the former DG of NOA and the party chieftain of the PDP. Of course, you are here with us in the studio is Ruth Tene, who also joined the conversation. Now, this is how we're going to wrap this particular segment of the program. We'll be going on a break. When we return, we shall be talking about Trump's remark. And has it in any way sparked of unity amongst Nigerians locally in spite of the global outrage that followed? After the break. Welcome back to this segment of the Polity here on Chieftain TV. We're still here, of course, to discuss the interesting topic which is trending. A remark on the social media, the truth, by the President of the United States of America has sparked a widespread outrage, locally and internationally. Of course, there are segments of the society that believes that the President's statement of the United States was one that has been long desired. Again, there are processes for things like these. Nigeria is a sovereign state. And for a sovereign state, there is necessary steps that must be taken to ensure that the diplomatic means required are followed. Else, it will be considered a breach of international code against another one. However, Nigerians have been speaking, and they've been joined by China, they've been joined by other person. But well, let's leave that for the matters arising later today. But now we are talking. Has this remark by President Trump generated a wave of national unity? That is the question we are going to be looking at. And here in the studio with me is Ruth Tene, who has been with us. So what is your take on this development?
What I feel is, rather than bring us together as a nation, it has exposed the division.
Fault lines.
Yes, it has brought out the fault lines that you can see that we are not a united people.
Really?
Now, why do I say this? We've seen the Christian, Muslim, Northern, Eastern, trajectory coming on. So, yes, Trump said something, and then we've had people shouting, Nigeria is a still sovereign nation. Did he say he's coming to take over your sovereignty? No, he's not. And for some of us, for some of us that believe that we need that intervention, we are not asking him to come and take over our government. We are asking that the people, the security of lives and properties, which should be the primary aim of any government, has been deflected in the past. Whether we like it or not, is there a genocide or not, I do not know. Have there been killings, unaccountable killings that we cannot deny, that has been prevalent in some parts or not? Yes, there has been. From the southern Kaduna part, we saw it happen. It was so bad. Nobody could deny it. I recall at the time I had made a post on Facebook. I said, if you don't speak up about this, one day it will get to your place. Sadly, we watched it spread. Yes, there is some relief now. We can say there is some relief. But up till yesterday, I know that I saw a post on Facebook about the community being attacked. Not in Kaduna, I think in Benue. So whether we call it genocide, whether we, I don't know what other name it can be called. Whether it's against the Christians, whether it's against a particular tribe, I don't know. But there have been killings. If Trump is coming to help us fight it, please let him come. There's nothing you can tell me that will change my mind about this. Because like I made a post day for yesterday, I said, have you ever been running in the thick of the night, not knowing where the bullets are coming from, no shoes on your feet, you are just praying to get to safety because some unknown gunmen had attacked your community? Have you ever had that? Have you ever been a victim of kidnapping, where strange men pick up a relative and we find people selling off almost everything they have to pay ransom? These have become like normal issues. It had gotten to a point where if 5 are killed, it's no longer news. 10 are killed is no longer news. 20 killed is no longer news, because killings have become predominantly what we have come to know in Nigeria. There is absolutely no day that people are not killed indiscriminately. No day. Not in the past 2, 3, 4 years that I've known. Every day people are dying. And then you think I should be worried that Trump is coming to save us. I won't. For me, whatever needs to be done to stop the killings, I am not interested in the politics that happen about this. My interest is to stop the killings, because all lives matters.
All life matters. Absolutely. That is what Ruth Tene is saying. And so, are you still with us? So we hear your thoughts on this comment, because you're speaking as a citizen now. The remark by President Trump, do you see it as challenging the nation's security, the administration of the government to action more than it was before now, and engendering more unity locally?
Well, please allow me to speak.
As a citizen.
First and foremost, as a citizen, of course, as a citizen. I was DG National Nutrition Agency, so I know the difference between politics and nation building. Now, first and foremost, this issue ought to unite Nigerians, all of us. Unite Nigerians not against what Trump said, but in support of what Trump said. Simply because Nigerians are being killed in their numbers. Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed. Somebody said IPOB and so forth and so on. Has IPOB gone to any mosque to kill people? Have they gone to church to kill people? Are they shouting Allah Akbar while killing one Christian? No. The people who are doing it may not be the Muslims of Nigeria that want to kill themselves, Nigerians. But the people who are killing people are Muslims who are shouting Allah Akbar as they do it. If they kill Muslims, it's not genocide because they are killing their kind. It is about odds and even. If they are killing a Christian and they are shouting Allah Akbar and they are taking over his land, they are raping his wife, well, that is a typical example of what happened in Rwanda. It's a typical example of what happened in South Africa at a point. It's a typical example of what happened in Gaza of recent, in Germany, and so forth and so on. That is genocide. Genocide, how do we want to define it? How do we want to define it? So Nigerians are being killed, and in some other forms is genocide against other people, because the people they have gone to churches to kill. They have burned churches. They have killed reverend fathers up and down. How many imams have they killed? So I know that they have gone to mosques and slaughtered people. As they are doing it, they also shout Allah Akbar. But they are killing fellow Muslims who do not agree with their ideology. But when they go to church and kill a Christian, shouting Allah Akbar, that is genocide. Read it. I'm a student of international law and diplomacy. Now, that is by the way. Trump has made a comment. We don't have anybody to respond, only our president and his spokespersons, who do not appear to be schooled in the art of public communication or even diplomatic communication. They just talk. If we had an ambassador in the US, our president will ask them to respond. If you have a scheduled affairs in the US, he may be a chief, he may be assistant director or deputy director, they will direct him to the equivalent of his rank in the US. He cannot reach the president, he cannot reach the minister. If the minister of Nigeria's foreign minister lands in the UK, he will go to the minister, he cannot see the president. Unless an informal arrangement, but not a formal arrangement. So we don't even have ambassadors now to tackle these issues. Then China will jump in for its own interest, and the tweet is coming from our villa. Does it make sense to you? A spokesperson for one minister or ministry said something, then our own presidency is responding. These are the kind of confusion that we have in the country that needs to be addressed. If Trump will give us equipment, if Trump will support our Nigerian army to rout these enemies of Nigeria, who are not only killing all Nigerians, they are also perpetrating genocide, then Nigerians, Muslims and Christians and traditional African religious worshippers will come together and join President Trump and join every person of goodwill to get these people out of our territory so that we can live in peace and use our resources. The resources we have in Nigeria that we are afraid Trump is coming to take, and we use it for Nigerians. So if Trump will come and take the resources and give us peace, let him come and take it.
Really? That, of course, is the major concern that people are having, that the American is not known for going to pick any fight outside his shore without particular interest that is going to be of huge benefit to her, even to the detriment of that nation. The stories of places it has visited with such acts are very evident. Our recent history, we have Iraq, where the story is still what it is today. And we have also Libya, which is also another story. And so that fear is one that Nigerians, some concerned persons in Nigeria are saying, no, we shouldn't at all support this call. And you don't seem to be in total agreement with that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan spent 1 billion naira when the naira was naira, when the dollar was dollar. He spent $1 billion, for instance, to purchase equipment. Did we succeed? Buhari gave the army $1 billion. Where are we? Tucano has come. Has Tucano flown between Kaduna and Latvia?
No.
Where is it? President Tinubu is spending money and every time security and defense. Where is the solution? Where is the solution? We are in difficulty. We are in great difficulty as a nation. We should sit down, and we are not saying government is perpetrating genocide. We are not saying government is not concerned. We are saying that this problem appears intractable. Over 20 years of killing, you can imagine the experience that she painted. I know a lot more. Don't forget, I was spokesman for the National Crisis Center in this country. So I know a lot that has happened. And I know some people who are in government that were harboring these people.
But that is a major challenge. We hear several times that persons of power or means or connection to government or of knowing are saying that we know these persons. The government officials are saying, while in government, we know this person. What is this constraint that is keeping us back? Does it not call for a request of multinational action against this sect instead of just having this debate?
If as a result, if I will know, America will know 10 times. If I know one, America will know 10. If America will know 10, Nigeria will know 20. And if we are not able to address the issue because we know and we are not able to even call names, and somebody is willing to come and help us eliminate it, let them come.
Let them come.
Because no matter how you plan, and so that some of these army officers that are being killed in the bush, do you think is because they don't have tactical
capacity or skills
to defend themselves and avoid? But somebody among themselves will go and tell Boko Haram that we are coming on social day, they will be killed. Those ones who have family. This genocide, this thing is beyond. It's not just Muslims. These Muslims now, the religion we practice in this country is the same religion that we practice in the 70s. There was a time Christmas and New Year fell on the same day. We told our parents we should postpone one because our neighbor was a Muslim. My parents were Christian. Every Saturday they will buy clothes for us. Every Christmas they will buy clothes for all of us and his children. When it fell on the same day, they didn't buy double clothes. We said they should postpone one.
That was the good old days. Very good memories of a sense of unity.
My neighbor here, who is a Muslim, my children have never seen him with children. I have tried all manner of things. I go to my village, bring yam, give it, even so that he can come and say thank you. So that I will see him. I have not seen him. We have it in this country, everywhere now. That is the kind of life we live. It is wrong. Then we are doing and getting development. We are going to school. They were able to take us to school. We were not doing Yahoo and all those things. Today, we have gone to school. We have resorted to Yahoo. We have resorted to killing each other. We have different kinds of religious persuasions that we are preaching, all to kill human beings. Before, she said they killed 10, they killed 1. Those days growing up, they kill one person. Front page story in Daily Times of those days. Today, they kill 50 is not an issue. In fact, if they don't kill, that it becomes front page. If there is no killing, it becomes front page. If you kill one person, nobody cares. If you kill 10 people, nobody cares. 50 people is no news. They will hide it somewhere. It's when a whole community is raised, 500 people killed, 1,000. Even those ones are second page now. They are not in page 1, page 1. Hardly on page 1. It's the picture of politicians who want to decamp, who want to visit. That's what you see as front page today. There was a time a bridge or something would be there on the front page. It's no longer there. Check the front page of all the newspapers today. Full of political stories. Rubbish. Excuse my language. I'm so pissed off. Where do we want to take Nigeria? I told you that for me, it's not about me anymore. My younger brothers, it's not even about them, it's about their children. That is the truth.
And political leaders should begin to see this reality. That will go a long way to help the Nigerian nation. Now, let me ask you, sir, before I come back to the studio. You're former DG of NOA. The NOA is still there. In all of this, do you think it has a role? And what role would you advise that it takes to help the situation now?
That was why we came up with a charge when I was there. Nigeria is not about slogan.
Did you hear me?
It's a charge. And I said, do the right thing. If you remember, we said, do the right thing. If every one of us, and this right thing is within our conscience, is within what we were taught, is something that...
Okay, so let's hear your thought in the studio before he comes back. Let's hear your thought. What role do you think the NOA should play now? Because you said you noticed that instead of uniting us, it has actually exposed the fault lines in the country. What role do you think is it a challenge before the National Orientation Agency? Because the agency expected to promote unity amongst the nation.
Like he was saying before the technical hitch, he said they raised a slogan, do the right thing.
Yeah.
Now for me, that slogan is not even just something that should start. It should be incorporated from childhood. So it should be a message taken down to the primary, to the secondary, to the higher institution. I feel that Nigeria has lost its moral conscience. A lot of us, a lot of people, because some of the crimes I hear, there are crimes I read or hear and I'm like, a human being actually did this, because we have lost our moral conscience. We fear nothing anymore. We don't fear anything. So, I mean, do the right thing. I agree with you. Do the right thing. But yeah, what should the NOA do? It is time the messages of unity are incorporated into our schools. Because I feel like the adults are simply exhibiting what they were
taught as children.
Yeah, it is what you train up a child in the way he
should grow. When he's old, will not depart from it, says the scripture.
So for me, those lessons, whatever messages the NAO want to start, they should start it from the roots. That is one. Earlier when he was speaking, he actually alluded to the social media talks about Donald Trump coming for our resources, and I laughed. I have covered the mining sector for over 10 years, and I know to an extent how rich Nigeria is. It was so rich that we had gold that were being taken in tons, and there was no record of it until the Zamfara governor, the former Zamfara governor, came and brought bars of gold to see the president, and people were shouting, is this from Nigeria? Yes, it was from Nigeria. So we've had these resources. What have we done with them? A few people have cornered it, continue to empower themselves. If Donald Trump is coming to take, let him come and take it. Let us have peace.
You agree with the PDP chieftain that
I totally agree with
he should come and take it and give us peace.
And give us peace, because I remember.
Excuse me Excuse me, please, again, it's a serious matter. But that goes to tell the leadership of the country the level of pain Nigerians are suffering. When the people are beginning to say, it doesn't matter, I have no self-dignity anymore, just come and give me, just come and liberate me and make me have that sense of dignity. It means that the government is expected to do a whole lot more. And we are charging the president and the administration to please look deeply into this issue. We are very happy to hear that the president has declared the state of emergency in security institutions. You should go beyond that. You should declare state of emergency in these critical areas where there have been killings, which has been established, whether Christians or Muslim. We had a time where about 70 persons, over 60 or 70 were killed in in Borno State. Then we had a similar situation in Benue. We had a similar one somewhere, I think in Jos, in Plateau. That tells you the level of suffering Nigerians have been made to go through. I'd like to describe it. How can you imagine someone running alone at night to nowhere but to his place of safety where he or she has no idea about? At the same time, bullets are flying from one direction. That person will be running into danger, thinking it is safety. It is important that we relieve ourselves as a country from this. And this comment, of course, should charge us. Your last word, the DG, the former DG, sir.
Can you hear?
Your audio is turned off. Your audio is turned off. I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, okay, good.
I love my country. I'm ready to do anything for my country. I don't have to be a beneficiary of my contribution. But that should not be taken for granted. So if you are in a position of leadership to discharge your duty, please do the right thing so that Nigeria can be transformed into a land of possibilities. In fact, that is who we are, a land of possibilities, not of potentials. We have passed that issue of potential. We have young people who do not want to be tied down by these mundane idiosyncrasies of tribe, religion, and so forth and so on. Can't you see they are marrying each other across the country? They are doing what they want to do. Please, let us allow this country to breathe. Nigeria as a country matter in the Committee of Nations. We have the capacity, we have human resources. Let them discharge the functions of their knowledge, of their intellect, of their skill and understanding of global, local, and even traditional issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your last word.
Well, we are proud Nigerians. You can't take it away from us. Anywhere I am and I say I'm a Nigerian, I get that, oh, Nigeria, okay, yeah. So Nigeria is something you can't take away from us. It's a nation we have to be proud of. But like he said, and I totally agree, it is on the leadership to ensure that the unity of this nation is restored. Right now, it is too broken. Let's continue pretending that it's not broken, but it is too broken. Nigeria is too broken.
Let's continue, let's not continue.
Let's continue to deceive ourselves, but the truth is, it is too broken. And we must come as a nation. You recall when he was talking and he spoke about his childhood and the unity between Muslims and
the Christmas clothes.
It is something we do not, in fact, some people do not understand it. When I moved to Abuja over 15 years ago, and it was Christmas, and it was my first Christmas in Abuja, and I didn't want to go home. So I had sent from home, so he sent me all the chin-chin they fried from Kaduna and said, I fried my meat, I cooked. And I will share, it was strange to the people in my area because for them it wasn't their culture. I grew up in Kaduna, it's a very common culture. In fact, we don't cook in our house on Saturday because the Muslims in my area, they bring, you would think we are the ones doing Salah. So Nigeria must fight to regain its unity. Forget the political dramas. Politics will continue. But can we continue as a nation? We need to go back to the very beginning. Let's look for all those broken places and heal as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ruth Tene, for being with us today on the Polity. Thank you, sir. Mr. Omeri, for joining us on the Polity here on the Chieftain TV. We are very appreciative of your presence, and we thank your rich input to the conversation. Of course, Nigeria, the viewers will have learned so much from the conversation that we've had. I was sure, please, we want to ask you that we'll call again next time you will be available for conversations of some other topic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, viewers, this is the Polity. We've had very engaging conversation on the two topics we looked at: the PDP convention, the outcome of the two court judgments, pronouncements, and then the Trump's remark. How much of it is how much of it is calling Nigerian unity or otherwise? It is important that we stand for our country. That is the submission. Amidst the anger that has been expressed, we all know that this is our country. We have no other country. We should stay here, take good care of ourselves within it, and do all that we have to do. And to take up what the DG said, do the right thing. It's a campaign that was held this time, sometime in this country, and we should still hold on to it. Say something, and then say something. Thank you very much for today, and then we say bye for now.